one of the sets, if not the set of the day here. Done a Luke Mirror, been playing it with the Blanka. Bonchan, I have been thoroughly impressed with his knowledge. Like I said, just to regurgitate, thoroughly impressed by what he's been doing in terms of counterplay of Blanka in the neutral. But you're a victim just like everybody else.
Dude, his development of this character has been so sick to watch, right? Really making this character his own in the way that he wants to play. And also his decision making when it comes to like seeing people try to escape out of the corner. He's innovated some really high damage scenarios and also leading to Oki, of course, is also in part of the character Luke. But I think him coming up with the innovations to like stop somebody from jumping out of the corner for one. Like he started to innovate the jump medium punch to clip somebody mid-air and then go for a full combo off of like an air knuckle too. He's been really keen on what to do defensively. Like he's very active on defense as well. We had seen it when it comes to his decisions when it comes to crouch jabs as well and going into counter pokes with the crouching medium punch to follow. So overall, I think you had something to say. Sorry,
well, I'm going to say let's just talk about the implications of this match because they are in the home side here, so they need the 30 points to have as much of a buffer before they transition over to the away side.
Yeah.
If Bonchan gets to 20 points here, this is going to be huge because they can counterpick at will against Team Bandits away lineup, so we'll see how this pans out. Good start there then.
Oh! Decision to parry didn't pay off for MenaRD. Now he's stuck in this corner against the Vortex, and now I guess that trade is going to be just fine for him. Punish counter on the roundhouse. MenaRD in hot pursuit. A little hot-footed.
Just waiting it out here as well. Okay, no stand roundhouse anti-air. Now, there wasn't really much anti-airs from MenaRD in the first set, so maybe Bonchan identified something. Maybe tried to go for a more aerial approach with the Hammer of Justice, but the back throw there, drive rushes in, and here comes the activation. He could use this to actually replenish drive gauge there, but the perfect parry beats into the punch. And he goes it straight for an uppercut, baits his reversal.
And it's so smart to do it that way. You saw the amount of drive gauge MenaRD had left, but also in the Lightning Beast, he could still continue on to another roll, so he didn't want to risk it. He used something invincible to stuff it outright. And speaking of stuffings, damn, look at the damage. Level 3, you already know what's coming. 45 to 50%. Nah, it's got to be way more than that, bro.
Dude, the lift punish on the wild lift there with the stand heavy punch. Phenomenal stuff. And he baits a reversal once again. Bonchan super comfortable. Won't be able to take the round, but he'll be in a good position for guess for game. Ooh, okay, takes the back throw. He can do that. That's fine. Early stun, that's fine. He's got all the health to do this. This is actually fine. This is completely fine for Bonchan here.
He gets one mix-up off of this.
Oh, here it comes. What on earth is this? Okay. Oh.
Wow. So I understand that in that situation, the safe jump, you do get the perfect parry. It does leave Blanka at -2 in that scenario, so he wanted to steal his turn back using something invincible.
But the thing is there, you don't know what was going to happen, so maybe if he did jab electricity, then he has to deal with the plushie momentarily.
But does he have, but does he get the priority to do so when he gets perfect parry? That's the issue, right?
Well, that was the mind game behind it, which is like you said, why he tried to take his turn back.
I see the layers. Yes, I see the layers.
If the plushie was electrified before that, then like Mena would have won that exchange.
Yeah, there was no question about that for sure.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda. But he went immediately back to the mirror. He said, "Back to fundamentals, baby. Let's do it." Trying to fight Bonchan with fire with fire, they say.
In the Macho ring as well. Yo, shout out to the music producer for this specific stage because it actually is pretty damn intense. It's pretty much a banger for me. I love this song.
Anti-air there. Okay, gets the overhead.
Oh, but it wasn't the combo he was looking for. Maybe he didn't want to put himself into burnout just yet, so he ended it with the fireball. He was at like 2.5 bars.
He wasn't going to, well, he can get a knockdown, but not the knockdown that's ideal for Luke in those scenarios. Right. And a lovely 3-piece check into the light flash knuckle there. And again, Bonchan still challenging after one light. His defensive choices have been interesting today. He's had a much better read on Mena's defensive choices.
Oh, the commitment to the target combo.
Found himself out for the ideal positional scenario. Still holds up.
And the throw just whiffing away. Bonchan was in complete control, despite being in burnout. Again, as we mentioned before, him being able to play out of burnout is a notch above almost everybody else, it seems like.
Again, he didn't try to anti it there because he was too far, so good spatial awareness there. And another check on forward movement there from Bonchan from Mena. So leading kick, he loves that button. Really good at setting the pace and dictating what the opponent should counter with in response. Drive gauge of the both of them, but the fireball is just buying time until a big jump comes in, and he's got to cancel early into that level 3, but he's going to go level 2 instead. This might be the more practical scenario in terms of drive gauge management. Interesting. He's got a block, surely. Oh, okay, he did.
Oh, but it's the burnout. And you can see him buffering away, MenaRD. He might be using or getting ready for a super art, but and that's going to be more than enough damage in the tank. Bonchan, level 1. The Vulcan comes out. MenaRD, again, he was pumping away in the corner. Didn't want to fear that repercussion of that drive impact.
But sometimes I do feel that players actually, like, they use it as a smoke screen. It's like a farce.
Yes,
it's like they're not actually pumping, but it's like, I'm just going to use the mind game there because there's a visual indication as to what it is.
Yes.
And you know what the input is, which they have to crouch twice in quick succession.
Yes.
So maybe that's what it could have been. But hey, if he was pumping for a Vulcan Blast or something, then hey.
Just putting the idea in the opponent's mind is more than enough, I feel like, on defense.
Yes. Managed to close the gap, but an immediate reversal. Still having a difficult time reading Bonchan's defensive choices here in this set. Almost got the whip punish on the stand medium punch, and immediate there, rebuttal with the OD to stop the drive rush, cancel pressure.
Looking for potentially the counter, but speaking of, punish counter on the throw. Punish counter on the parry, excuse me. Oh, a little awkward.
Almost fortuitous there, but it works out for Mena as he gets around. And he needs to build on this momentum. Hopefully the pendulum will swing in his favor from this point onwards. And he gets him.
He sniped out the delayed normal from MenaRD. He tried to counter the drive rush. So he gets clipped with the suppressor.
All right, gets clipped with an OD flash knuckle. Into the corner here, still blocking it out. Mena's going to have to be feet firmly planted into the ground because some of his defensive choices have not worked out unless he forces one here from a parry. And there's the back throw. He's got to build on this.
Oh, you are so sneaky off of that jab, too. And Bonchan, I think he might have got caught pre-jump frames.
Oh, that's just about going to burn him out. If he left that combo gone any longer, that wouldn't have burned him out, so the eraser will do the trick. He's only limited to his own level 2.
Oh, this is huge damage.
It's not going to build enough bar.
But he can do it again. Oh, he tried to sneak it in. Bonchan, he's still alive. And it's not going to be enough. It's too far.
Hold on, they're still in there. OD, and he's still burnt out. Bonchan might have to jump forward. Somebody did.
What? He missed his uppercut input. He totally missed his uppercut input. That was a crouch jab from Bonchan. Crouch medium punch, excuse me. Crouch medium punch from Bonchan.
That was so profound. Bonchan took his hat off for 2 seconds. I've never seen him do that before. Anyway, let's get this show on the road here. Mena trying to slowly but surely call his way back in. The crowd are behind him. That's an exuberant crowd, if I do say so myself. Perfect parry into the crouch fierce conversion.
I like that, prioritizing the side switch for the corner pressure, but it's MenaRD not willing to sit back and take it. He jumps out, and now resetting to mid-screen.
Cancel it on the drive rush. Big damage
that was
coming
awkward.
through. Yeah,
that had to be autocorrect's fault.
Well, I don't know. Sometimes the game just says no, and that's why he denied it as well there, Bonchan. Didn't want to cancel into a drive rush to burn himself out here. Sometimes drive rush cancels are not worth it.
Oh, man.
There you go.
A little hesitation to just sit still. Bonchan was eager to press that throw button. Real itchy on the trigger finger.
Perfect parry gets the conversion into the rising uppercut, and he will block another one. And he's got an executive decision to make. Will he try and parry this time round, or will he try and firm it? He gets hit with a safe jump. This is huge. What's the next play going to be? Takes a grab. He can't take another one. That's why he texts. He's trying to delay that crouch medium punch there. Crouch fierce to stop. Gets a back throw. We are fighting tooth and nail for the positional advantage in this corner. He can uppercut if he wants to, but he holds a parry instead.
Trying to catch a recovery of that. Really good presence of mind for Bonchan to just hold on to the parry a little bit longer.
Yeah, this is it.
This is huge.
He didn't. He's not going to OD uppercut.
He's going to do it again, right?
The combo is just going to get rid of him. That's why he's threatening him. He got
Level 3?
Yeah, he got him. He got him. Right. Necessary, but Mena baited the meter there because, again, sometimes an OD reversal is way scarier than letting go of your super art, Mia. Funny enough to say.
It's fair.
But he's at a meter disadvantage here, and Mena could actually take advantage of this.
Quick question. You think he would have chip killed?
With
genuinely?
That? It does 10%. I would have put it past him. Gets the check. Perfects his way to the corner.
Going for the advantage on knockdown. I like that.
Out, perfect parry, just inches away from getting a button to connect, even if it wasn't punish counter. Slowly close the gap, goes back to the mid-screen there, gets a grab this time around. It looks like that beat a button this time.
Perfect parry, just enough to get the crouching heavy punch within range.
Do a little frame kill there for the stand hard punch. Meaty holds the parry, he's still holding it because he's trying to recover as much drive gauge as possible. Holding it down.
That was a counter hit as well. Could have linked it off into a crouching medium.
He's gonna rely. Oh dear!
Oh my! Excuse me, I didn't mean to do that.
One of the strongest buttons from Drive Rush in the game. That suppressor there, and he should be able to close this one out. We're gonna keep it nice and simple into the Super R3, and it will make the scoreline tantamount 2 apiece. The bull,
The strongest bull,
stays raging. And he's going straight into it. Okay.
I like that. I like that.
Bonchan
immediately took off the headset again. Confer with his teammates. Sakonoko, Ryusei, Tokido, all behind him. The crowd getting electric now.
Remember, this is a rambunctious crowd, and whoever wins this, they get the advantage. Not the dub, but they get the advantage there in the long run, because it is the first to 70,000. All right, gets the conversion.
Optimizing for the damage instead. Yes, and the knockdown. I like that back throw to switch up the positions. MenaRD, what's his defensive choices? What are they going to be like?
No uppercut.
No
there.
anti-air.
I respect it, though. Last one was a bit finicky when he was in a situation like that, so he didn't do it this time round. And they're both low on drive gauge. Burn him out. Oh, okay. No, he wanted to risk something there. See if Mena would respond in kind. The brutal spike gets blocked. Sweep. The no context sweep.
That was so deep.
Okay. Gonna have to hold it there, and he waited for the backdash to come out, and Mena keeps trying to mix up his options. And that was a set from a crouching medium punch.
Oh, and I like the idea. So that was a good look too. Bonchan throwing out the drive impact because of the condition or the situation. MenaRD not having a lot of life left. He wanted to test him on defense yet again.
Suppressor
another suppressor. That's 2 for 2.
It doesn't matter who you are.
For a round start.
Suppressor is just gonna catch you, whether you like it or not, especially when you're asleep at the wheel. There's a throw. Bonchan, one hit will give his team the advantage, and he doesn't even need the super art. Places are perfect on the screen, and Bonchan takes it over MenaRD. That was beautiful to see, because last time Mena won the exchange, now the shoe's on the other foot.
We were talking about what's on the line in regards to the amount of points earned as we get into that race to 70. Now, being on the away side, this is such a big benefactor for FAV Gaming as they get to switch sides and get all the snipes for the counter picks, which should potentially lead them to maybe a full sweep as we look into the replay. We'll talk about those 70 points later, but again, forcing the switch off from Blanka. I gotta think to myself as we talk about the big flash knuckle combos. You think MenaRD is just gonna go into Luke if he has to play against that matchup again? Do you think he's gonna go straight off into the Luke?
9 times out of 10, just the safest bet, and who's got the strongest chance of success rate at beating Bonchan? That's kind of like the million-dollar question here. They could stick with it because, again, they need to put Mena in a position where when he takes the risks, he's not super deterred by it or super, discouraged by it, I should say. Because, again, each and every point they go further away, it's harder, and these decisions have a lot more weight to them. And it's not just an individual effect, it's a team effect, right? And he'll have a little bit of time to do some self-analysis. Again, he's had time to do that back and forth, but Bonchan, what a response to turn this around from their first exchange in the seeding matches here.
Yeah, you start to see like the volatility kind of amp up a little bit, but Bonchan kind of kept it cool towards the end of that match. I think that was one of the strongest suits. We talked about how much slower he played even in the tiebreaker scenario. I think that was a big indication as to what he utilized against MenaRD in this very, very final moment of the matchup, right?
He had a lot more successful perfect parries than Mena, I feel, as well. And he had the optimization with the crouch fears, the brutal spike, into the conversion with the side swap.
Sure, yeah.
It's like, I just think sometimes you can play right and you can lose in this game. Sometimes your defensive choices are just the correct ones for today because, again, there's a huge element of guessing. And you can actually play neutral and your offensive sequences in a very similar fashion to what you did in your previous encounter with any opponent you want to run back. And this is some good stuff here. I do understand and I like the risk implications that Mena is taking because it sets precedents later if they are going to have a future encounter.
Right, that makes sense.
But again, Bonchan is an EVO champion, like you said, going up against a Capcom Cup champion. So these guys will know when and where to bait certain things.
That chip kills, right?
That should do. It does 10%, and that looked like less than 10%. So it would have been fine, regardless of how it works. And you see it close it out there, because this has been huge and pivotal, regardless. I am curious to see, or find out maybe a little bit later, what the guys have been discussing with Mena in interim stages in these games, because that's huge, right? Even he needs advice from the right people in his team. What better advice to get from Cowboy Christie and Xiao Hai in the situation here? But yeah, and there you go.
Uppercut ring out. Bonchan, once he saw it, he already knew it was sealed.
Sometimes
I like that. I always love the victory poses from Ryusei. I feel like he's
just
emoting.
like this. He's just like-
he's emoting the whole time is what it is.